So as we continue along in the remodel project, I want to take the lap siding and I want to replace that with a shingle on the top and also a stone on the bottom. We call that a pony wall in Chief Architect. Then I'm going to take the nested shed pop-outs and I'm going to change the wall type on that. So let's return back into the program here. And again, I'm going to use the split screen approach where my floor plan is on the left. By the way, if you want to do that, you can just come up here and tile horizontally or vertically. Shift F6 will put you in that position as well. Using the wall tool, let's select that, and I'm going to press the Shift key. I'm in wall mode. I'm going to press the Shift key, and I'm just going to draw a marquee around all of my walls and let go. When I'm in that mode, that will select everything. You can use that same tip if you wanted to select all base cabinets. Select the base cabinet. Instead of clicking to place it, you hold the Shift key down and you draw a marquee around those items you want to select. With all of the walls selected, let's go ahead and press the Open button. Shortcut here, Control E on the keyboard, and that will open it up. On the Wall Types panel, here's my wall type that I've used, and there's lots of wall types you can select out of the program. These are some of the defaults that will ship with it, and if you look at the definition panel, pull that over to my other monitor. The wall that we're using is siding 6. It consists of 6 different components ranging from the siding all the way through into the drywall, and it's useful because that will calculate our materials for those walls. I'm going to change that wall type to a shingle 6 first of all, and you'll notice that my color is going to be different. Currently my color is blue. I like to use different colors in my wall types so I can see it in my floor plan view. So once I select OK, that's going to change all of those walls to shingle. And I'll need to go up into the attic and change those attic walls, and I'll get to that here in just a minute. Now the next thing that I want to do is let's actually go back in and select those walls. Use the Open key. On those wall types, there's a pony wall setting down here. And what that means is it's basically, you can see in the preview down here, that's going to create a stacked wall where you have a stone or a stone veneer on the bottom. And then again, you can go in and select the wall type you're using. This is a stone 6 wall that I have already set up. And here's all the layers. And by the way, that totals up, so it'll give you the dimensional thickness of that. So now that I have a pony wall set up with stone on the bottom, I'm going to set the lower elevation to be 18 inches. And select OK. So that's going to put a stone wall all the way around the bottom of the house. And you can see that show up in 3D. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to select the pop-out shed walls. So I'm just going to actually use my Shift Select key and click on those 3 walls, because I want to take these walls and I actually want to use a different wall type. So I'm going to open up those walls, go back into the wall types. I'm going to remove the stone off of it first of all, and I'm going to choose the style of wall that I want. And here's a siding vertical. Again, my wall color is different in my floor plan view, so you can easily see that update in that view. So now we've got that wall type set up there. Let's go up into our attic, make the necessary adjustments. Click on the wall tool. Again, hold the Shift key down. Then I'll click and drag a marquee around all walls. And now I'm going to actually hold the Control key down and deselect the 2 outside walls that form the attic walls in that shed pop-out. So what I've done here is I've selected all walls except the attic walls in the shed pop-out. Double click on the Open button. Change the wall type to the shingle 6 wall. You'll see the update, and then finally we'll select the walls. Let me just zoom around so you can see that. You'll see that we still have a lap siding wall in here, and they're blue. Again, another reason to use a different color in your floor plan view. So again, I'll just shift select those 4 walls and then change that to the same wall type as the floor below. And that should fix that issue. Now the next thing we need to do in the design is, you'll notice that when I made that change, I have no cap on the top of my stone. So let's explore the method to do that. I'm going to move down to my main floor, and I'm just going to kind of click right next to the building. When you click next to the building, you'll actually get, we call it an exterior room in Chief Architect, but it's kind of surrounds the circumference of the building. And you'll know it by when you have it selected, it says exterior room in the lower left hand section of your program. Once that's selected, I'm going to come down and click on make a room molding polyline. And I'm going to click that. And then when we created this stone wall, remember what we set that dimension at was 18 inches. So I'm going to use that as 18 inches. So let's type 18. Enter that. With that still selected, you can see the surround of it. Let's open that up by pressing Control E on the keyboard or the Open command down here in the lower left. And I can now go out and select on the molding panel, Add New, and browse into the library and find a molding profile. So here's a molding profile that I like. A lot of the millwork companies or stone companies would have that profile, and you could import that into the program and use that exact profile. They typically are DXF files. Let's select OK, and now let's go ahead and set the dimensions for that. I'm going to set that to be 3 by 5. And there's a very important setting down here. Extrude that on the inside, so that would face it in the house, or if I uncheck that, it will then reverse it and put it to the outside, which is what we want to have for that stone cap. Once we select OK, that puts that stone cap on there. You can use your material eyedropper and pick up a color that you like for that stone cap if it's just concrete. And then you'll notice that it actually went all the way around our house except around the porch. Those porch walls are invisible walls. Molding polylines don't follow invisible walls. So we just need to do a little bit of cleanup. I'm going to select the edge here, remove that, select the edge here, remove it. And if I can do this in 3D, sometimes you can do some things in 3D if you can get the right view, and you can't. Now I just need to make that molding where it intersected the porch wall get cleaned up. So I'm going to do that in my 2D view. So if we zoom in, select that. If I zoom way in here, you can actually see that where that intersection is, it created a couple of things. So let's just grab these diamonds, and I'm going to bring that over the top of it. We'll just pull it over, get rid of that, and now I'm just going to slide that over right next to the casing that you can see in your 2D view. So we'll just slide that over and clean that up. Now I just need to do the exact same thing on this side of the house. We'll just zoom in, pull that extra break. It probably created a couple of them. Pull that over, zoom out so we can see our casing. Slide that over, and let's take our 3D view and make sure that it looks okay. Rotate around. And now, again, we just need to clean up the edge molding. You saw me do that in 3D on the other side. You can do it in 2D. Select the edge, and you can remove it. And also, if you might be using a little bit older version than I am, if you double click on this, open it up, selected line, let's see if it's in here. And on the general panel, no molding on selected edge. So that's another way you can get to it. This way is a little quicker. Just find the element down here, remove molding from selected edge, and then that will clean it up. And that's how we added the ridge cap on there. So what we've done is we've taken the remodel project with our lap siding, changed the wall types so that some of the walls have the shingle siding and they also have the pony wall setting with stone on the lower section. Our shed pop-outs had the vertical siding, and then we added the molding polyline to create the stone cap. Now the next phase of the project will be to take our entry roof here and we want to curve it and then add the dormer on there. So we'll move along and take a look at that project.